A lot of founders think the biggest threat to their CPG brand is competition, low sales, or getting rejected by retailers. But honestly, that's usually not what kills CPG brands. Cash flow does. Because in CPG, you can have great branding, strong products, retail distribution that's all over the place. You can have customer demand, and you can still watch your company collapse right in front of you. And you wonder, like, why? Because, point blank, you ran out of cash. And here's the scary part. Running out of cash in CPG rarely happens overnight. It happens slowly over time. And it happens quietly. At first, it looks manageable. You delay payments. You move money around here and there like a shell game. You rely on credit cards. You tell yourself, we just need one more big retailer. We just need one big PO. We just need one more sale. We just need one more investor. It's always one more of this. But eventually, the pressure catches up. Inventory slows down. Suppliers stop extending terms. And retailers still expect product. Employees still need payroll. And then suddenly, the business starts breaking from the inside out. That's why this topic is one of the most important lessons any CPG founder can understand. Because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what actually happens when a brand runs out of cash. The warning signs are there for every CPG founder, but they get ignored. And how smart CPG founders protect cash flow before things become dangerous. If you're building a CPG brand that wants to go into retail or expand nationwide, this lesson could literally save your business thousands and thousands of dollars and a whole bunch of headaches. Step 1, cash flow problems usually start long before the crisis happens. Most CPG founders think running out of cash happens suddenly, like, oh my gosh, the cash is just gone. But usually, the warning signs start months earlier. You know, I know, you see it. It starts with small compromises. Maybe margins are tighter than expected. Maybe freight costs increased. Like I always say, maybe promotions are starting to eat at profitability. Maybe inventory is sitting too long than what you expected. And slowly, cash starts disappearing faster than it comes in. It's like it's always going out, but never coming in. Now you're starting to juggle money, moving cash between accounts, like I said before, and you keep on delaying the payments. And this is the type of thing that usually happens when you start going down that stretch of trying to work out supplier terms, and then you keep telling yourself, we'll catch up next month. But next month comes the next quarter, and the next quarter, and the next quarter, and then the pressure keeps building, and then all of a sudden, the dangerous part starts happening in CPG. Because growth can actually hide financial problems temporarily. You may think revenue may still look strong. Retail distribution may still be expanding. But in actuality, underneath all the surface, the financial foundation is weakening very much each and every day. That's why smart CPG founders, they monitor cash constantly. Not just sales, not just revenue, they monitor cash. Because your revenue doesn't keep the lights on. I always say that. Cash keeps the lights on. Here's the first lesson. Cash flow problems usually start quietly, long before the actual collapse happens in your CPG brand. Step 2, operations start breaking when cash gets tight. It always seems to happen. Once cash becomes tight, operations start suffering really quickly because every part of a CPG business requires money to function. I mean, ingredients, packaging, production, freight, warehousing, payroll, marketing. We ain't even thought about marketing. Retail promotions, everything. I mean, everything depends on cash flow. It's like all of a sudden look up, you're spending money on everything. And when the cash starts disappearing, the business becomes reactive. Now CPG founders start making survival decisions instead of strategic decisions. And when you start getting like that, it's not a good place. Because now maybe production gets delayed. Maybe inventory gets reduced too aggressively. Maybe shipments arrive too late than what they need to be. Maybe the brand cuts corners operationally. And eventually, the retailer starts noticing. This is where things become dangerous. And I mean dangerous. Because retailers care about consistency. They don't care what you got going on. They want to be consistent. They want to know, can you stay in stock? Can you deliver on time? Can you support promotions that you signed up for or that we made you sign up for? If the answer becomes no too often, retailer confidence slowly drops back, and it drops fast. And once the retailer trust breaks, recovering becomes extremely difficult. This is why operational discipline matters so much in CPG, because cash flow problems eventually become operational problems, and operational problems eventually become retail problems. That's the chain reaction when your cash starts running low. Step 3, running out of cash creates bad decision making. Bad decision making. This is another danger CPG founders underestimate. When businesses become financially stressed, you know what happens when you're stressed? Decision making changes. You're in real life fight mode. Now everything becomes emotional. Now everything becomes reactive. Now everything becomes urgent. Instead of asking, what's the smartest long-term move? Now you're starting to ask yourself, how do we survive the next 30 days? How do we survive the next 10 days? And that mindset creates risky decisions because brands start chasing bad retail deals. They accept unprofitable terms and they overproduce inventory, hoping sales will fix everything. And that's not always the case. They discount aggressively. They take expensive financing, loans, anything else, money. And sometimes they scale even faster, trying to grow out of the problem when that doesn't work. But growth without financial stability often makes things even worse, because weak margins plus rapid growth can accelerate cash burn even faster than most CPG founders understand. This is one of the hardest lessons in entrepreneurship. Desperation rarely creates good business decisions, because once a business enters in survival mode, it becomes much harder to operate strategically. So here's the teaching point. Protecting cash flow protects decision making. Make sure you understand that. And protecting decision making protects your business. Step 4, inventory becomes a massive problem. Inventory is one of the biggest hidden dangers in CPG cash flow. And I want to make sure I keep reiterating that over and over, because inventory ties up money, a lot of money. And when CPG brands grow quickly, they often want to build huge piles of inventory because they want to avoid being out of stock. They want to make sure they support retailer demand in case they need something. And they always want to look like they're ready for growth. We're ready for this, we're ready for that. But inventory sitting in warehouses is not cash. It's not. It's trapped capital. Survival matters more than hype. They don't just chase revenue. They protect cash flow. They monitor margins obsessively. Every day. They understand working capital so that they're not just spending willy-nilly. They stay disciplined with their inventory, and they avoid scaling faster than the business can financially support, because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Because smart founders know you can't outgrow poor financial management. I've said this numerous times. I want to make sure I say it again, because at some point, the numbers catch up. This is why some CPG brands, they don't survive difficult markets. And because of that, they disappear completely. The survivors, they build strong financial foundations early. From the gate early, from the beginning, year one. They focus on healthy margins, controlled growth, They focus on inventory efficiency, and they also focus on operational discipline, like I've been saying. And lastly, sustainable expansion. Not just flashy retail announcements that you do for social media, and not just vanity metrics that you want to let everybody know that you're doing. Because long-term success in CPG is not about looking successful. It's not. It's about building a business that can actually survive pressure, and you have a healthy business that can keep being sustained and grow each and every year. Here's the big takeaway. Running out of cash in CPG is rarely just a money problem. It's not. It becomes the following: an operational problem, a retail problem, which gets worse and worse, a leadership problem, because you got to ask who's guiding the ship, and eventually a survival problem. Yes, because how are you going to be able to survive the next year? Here's a quick recap, just in case you forgot anything. Cash flow issues usually start quietly. Tight cash flow creates operational breakdowns. And it also increases financial stress, which leads to reactive decision making. Inventory can trap massive amounts of capital. And I mean massive amounts. And the smartest brands protect cash before they aggressively start chasing growth. Because in CPG, growth alone does not guarantee survival. It doesn't mean you'll survive to next month, next year. But financial discipline, that does. And the brands that survive long term are usually the ones that learn how to protect cash before scaling too fast. You have to remember that. Cash is king, and you need to have it. So if you're building a CPG brand, comment below. Comment below. What do you think is the biggest cash flow killer when it comes to getting into retail, getting into C-stores, or getting anywhere? Is it inventory? Is it freight? Is it retail deductions? Or is it scaling too quickly? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more real-world CPG insights around retail, around cash flow, around profitability, around operations, and scaling your CPG brand to the next level, make sure you subscribe to me, CPG 101 with Eric. Because your brand deserves more than just a dream. It deserves a strategy. And that's why you need to subscribe. We'll discuss all the tips and strategies you need to take your brand to the next level. Because like I said, we're building a community and we're all here to help and answer each other's questions. I want to say thanks again for tuning in to me, CPG 101 with Eric.